Oakland, California, March 25th. I recall writing more than 40 years ago in this bridge called my back. The danger lies in ranking the oppression. The danger lies in failing to acknowledge the specificity of the oppression. It's a simple thought that survived the test of time, it seems. It suggests that it is upon us as people of color, as queer folk, as those that walk with the knowledge of disenfranchisement in our bodies, to speak to that specificity. To that end, I am grateful to the Asian Pacific Island communities for the courage of the response to the tragic murders that took place in Atlanta last week. That they have raised their much needed voices en masse regarding not only the particular conditions of racism as they experience it, from the visibly brutal to the scarcely observed and daily, but also speaking to the multiple histories that have shaped their long relationship to this country, from 19th century Chinese immigration and the Chinese Exclusion Act, to refugees of the Vietnam War, to Japanese American World War II internment, to the many waves of immigration from the Philippines and Korea, much of which was directly impacted by US military involvement in their homelands. To say API is as generic as saying Latinx. We may forever struggle about what and how we are named and what and how we name ourselves, but the struggle is our walk in these lands, and it is our common cause. That quote from Bridge continues in this way. The danger lies in attempting to deal with oppression purely from a theoretical base, without an emotional, heartfelt grappling with the source of our own oppression, without naming the enemy within ourselves and outside of us. No authentic, non-hierarchical connection among oppressed groups can take place. It's an odd thing to quote yourself, but I wrote that when I was about 27 years old, which reminds me of what the young can teach us as we age. This is the stuff of women of color feminism, that original vision of the connective tissue of oppression and liberation that binds us. Bridge took me home to the work of being a Mexican American, a Chicana, and a Chicana with an X. But in that liberatory specificity, the national and the global promise to arise in concert, in solidarity, and in communion. As a writer, the most liberatory tool is to plain talk, to write with a public democratic voice and a poetic impulse in order to be understood across and through class and color. So perhaps the little said here today is simply an invitation to move forward, to invite you to my shared and specifically Latinx conversation with writers who do just that, write to liberate. Luis Rodríguez, Roberto Lovato, María Hinojosa, and Cristina Rivera Garza. It is a privilege to spend time in such good company. They will speak to the private and public call of being a writer, the why and work of it, the I and we of it, for the whole of us. Join us. Thank you.